name's Ricky Johnson, fight out of Infinite Mixed Martial Arts in Easton Training Center. I'll let my fight speak for itself.
My name is Josh Huber. I'm fighting out of the compound in Littleton, and what you can expect in this fight is a knockout. That's pretty much what I'm going for.
And now it's time to meet our main event fighters. Fighting out of the Genesis Mechanical Red Corner from Infinite MMA in Loveland, Colorado, the defending Sparta Combat League Bantamweight title holder, Ricky Furioso Johnson. And the challenger, fighting out of the Mile High Pipe and Tobacco Blue Corner from Compound Training Center in Littleton, Colorado, Josh Hellboy Huber. This professional bantamweight title fight is scheduled for 3 rounds.
Gentlemen, it's a professional title bout. It's a main event fight. I expect a good, clean fight. Take yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Questions out of the red fighter? Questions out of the blue fighter? Touch them up now, gentlemen. Let's get to work.
It's time for the main event fight, fans. We have a 135-pound professional title fight featuring Josh Huber wearing the black and white trunks representing the compound, facing off against Ricky Johnson wearing the white trunks laden with sponsors. He's representing Infinite MMA. Referee Tim Mills, third man in the cage here for our main event.
Yeah, JR, these guys are two of my favorite fighters to watch in Colorado. I think both these guys bring such a fun set of skills to the table, and they're just always entertaining fighters to watch go at it.
Head control here by Huber. Johnson seemingly nonplussed by the situation, doesn't feel that he's in danger of being choked there. Going to try to get Huber up against the cage. I think Johnson probably wants to put this fight on the ground as long as he can secure top position, try to work some ground and pound to soften his opponent, then work for a submission. But Huber, absolutely one of the most durable fighters that I've ever watched compete.
Durable.
Softening him is not going to be an easy task.
Durable and very heavy-handed as well. So this is the early stages of this first round are a dangerous time for Ricky Johnson. But Ricky Johnson seems to be one of those guys that the longer the fight goes, the more dangerous he is. So this should be a really entertaining fight.
Kind of say that about Johnson's career. The longer
Absolutely.
it goes, the more dangerous he is. He's one of those guys that always looks to be improving, as does Huber. And Johnson, every time you see him in the cage, he's just full of smiles.
Yeah.
This is what he belongs doing, no doubt about it.
Yeah, both of these guys really love fighting, and you can see it by the way that they are and the way that they perform, and they never take backward steps. They really always bring the fight to the crowds and entertain the crowds every chance they get.
Huber landing some cuffing shots to the ear of Johnson, basically not looking to do damage with that strike, but wants Johnson to move his head so that he can take positional advantage. And Johnson doing a good job with knees on the inside. Huber continues with those palm strikes to the right side of Johnson's head.
Johnson staying busy by keeping the pressure on Huber against the cage, but Huber doing a nice job defending as well.
Short uppercut there, lands for Johnson. Huber, good job getting the tie plum there, but Johnson shuts that down nicely by way of jamming his hips in. That's what you want to do when you're afraid your opponent's going to pull your head down. As you drive your hips forward, that shuts down his attack. And Johnson now creates a little distance with his hips and immediately uses that distance to fire off more damaging knee strikes.
You know, and interestingly enough, we do see Jared Mercado in the corner of Ricky Johnson, and Jared Mercado had a great fight against Josh Huber. Really utilized his wrestling to shut down that dangerous game of Huber, and I think that had some influence on training with Ricky Johnson in order to help him get this win against Huber.
And Johnson looking to lock up a takedown now. Momentarily anyway, he had his hands clasped, wanted the crotch lift, didn't get it. Separation here, and Huber, as he always does, stalks forward looking to land big bombs.
Yeah, real heavy-handed 35er, and you know, you're talking about guys that can light up anybody at 55 and under.
And Huber is just enormous for 35.
Yeah.
He has a lot of weight to make this this weight class, but he seems to do it well. He never comes in looking drained. He always has good energy. So just one of those guys that has the process down. And good elbows landing there for Huber.
And Huber's also one of those guys that really performs well under the lights. You know, when it's time to fight, that's when he's at his best.
Big knee up the middle lands for Huber, but Johnson one more time able to spin him and pin him.
Nice work.
Crossface in effect for Huber, trying to keep Johnson from closing in, and Huber used that nicely to set up the knee strike.
Huber doing a nice job defensively here, but attacking defensively. I know that sounds weird, but
you're exactly right. So not really any striking from a distance here. Both these guys do have a nice outside striking game, but like I said, this is where Johnson wants it. He wants to try to grind Huber down a little bit, wear him out, see if he can put this fight on the mat and secure a dominant position. And Huber now
turning,
able to pin Johnson into the cage, see if he can maintain this position.
Huber, one of those guys, always very nonchalant in there.
Johnson now with head control. Huber picks him up for the big slam, but Johnson has a good position here.
Oh, that's trouble.
Did that nice.
That's
He's
trouble.
the right arm through. See if he can close this off. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the choke. There's the bell.
Nice job. Nice job. Both fighters doing a nice job.
Y'all can't deny it. I'm a fucking rider. Y'all can't deny it. Y'all can't deny it.
Ricky Johnson looks like he might have caught a knee or an elbow just to that right eye. He's got a little bit of a mouth forming.
You don't wanna fuck with me.
Huber getting some rest in the corner. Cool as a cucumber.
Guess who's back?
Ricky Johnson getting instructions from Adam Martinez.
Hot spot.
Yeah,
Boy, y'all.
that's right.
Doing right.
Yeah,
Down world.
yo.
Catch me at the hot spot.
Here we go, ready to start the second round.
Boy, y'all. All night. I pop. Is it all right? Show you right. Can't stop it. This is our world. Me and my girl. Catch me at the hot spot.
Both fighters re-engaging now, second round. Huber starts off the round with the kicking attack.
Nice Superman to leg kick combination landed there by Huber. And fighters seemingly a little more willing to stand from the outside and engage here.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, and a beautiful body kick by Josh Huber.
Landed right underneath the elbow. Bass Rutten was here, he'd be screaming, lever key.
Lever. And a nice
And
return.
Johnson answers nicely.
Yeah.
Huber gives him a smile. Huber's one of those guys that gets disappointed if he doesn't go home with stitches.
Very tough guy. As is Ricky Johnson, of course. Very, very calculated type of attack from both fighters. Agree, JR?
I do. And Huber able to stagger Johnson just for a second there.
That southpaw stance.
And Johnson answers back nicely, showing the judges, hey, I want that moment back.
Huber showing off that tough beard of his.
Corner of Johnson telling them they want him to let those punches go, but it's Huber that lands the hook punch. Closing in for the ground and pound here. Huber really trying to light him up, and big shots coming down. And there's a big cut on the head of Ricky Johnson. And Huber continues with the striking attack.
He really caught Johnson with a big left hook.
Referee trying to get a look at that cut. It's leaking down into the eyes of Johnson. That could be a problem. Huber looking to improve his position. Doesn't quite have full mount. Nice job by Huber, mixing his strikes, body and head. And rear naked choke set in here for Huber. Doesn't have his hooks in, but there's the tap out.
And that's a
Congratulations
finish
to the compound fighter. Josh Huber goes home with the victory and wins the title in this 135-pound fight early in round number 2.
Outstanding performance by Josh Huber.
Congratulations to the main event winner.
This right here is my sway. All the girls are on me. Damn. Everybody pay attention. This right here is my
Wow, what a stunning finish. Josh Huber known for those big, heavy hands. Connects with that big left hook. Drops Ricky Johnson. Able to finish Ricky Johnson.
Get out the way. Pretty boy coming through.
And pure class and sportsmanship as always by Ricky Johnson. Both these guys just a fantastic performance. Josh Huber showing his mettle by coming up with a big hit. Great finish, securing a win and the title. Congratulations to Sparta, new Sparta 135-pound champion, Josh Huber.
Number 2. Referee Mills called a stop to this fight due to submission, declaring your winner and new Sparta Combat League champion, Josh Hellboy Huber. Butch from 94.3 Loudwire in the cage with Josh. Josh, it was a rematch. How much does knowing your opponent come into advantage for you?
I knew I had the striking advantage. He came out real well in the stand-up. He was doing a lot better than he did the first fight. You know, I wasn't really scared of his ground game. It was definitely an advantage knowing what I was getting into this time.
You said in your little interview that you did on the big screen there that the only way that you were going to win this fight was by knockout. You won by submission. You know that, right?
Yeah, you know, I was going for the knockout. I wouldn't have got him in the sub unless he was rocked like he was. And he hung in there like a true champ. That was a hard shot. And those elbows I was hitting him with were nasty as hell. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty cut you gave him on his head. Is this the first belt you've had, man?
No, this is the second belt. I'm the former PFC title holder. I'd like to thank the troops. I'd like to dedicate this fight to my little brother who's stationed out in Germany. He's in the United States Army. Thank you, Justin.
What's next for you, man, now that you got this belt?
I'm going to take a little time off, try to heal some injuries, and I'll be defending this belt fairly soon.
Sweet, man. Anybody else you want to thank before we let everybody go?
I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Levita. She's been such a great support for me, my family for always supporting me, everyone who came up from the Springs, and everyone who always comes to support me. I love you. I love all the fans. Thank you.
Give it up for your new Sparta Combat League champion, Josh Hellboy Huber.